How much do you think you could read in 12 uninterrupted hours? It's a gross rainy day here in New York City, so I decided to do a 12-hour readathon. I let my Instagram followers choose my first book of the day, and they chose The Heartbreak Hotel by Eleanor Clover, which I was so excited about. This book just came out, and it's the story of a woman who's going through a pretty tough breakup and can no longer pay for the house she's been living in without her ex's support. So she talks the hot landlord into letting her turn it into a bed and breakfast for the heartbroken, and of course finds love with said hot landlord along the way. And when I tell you, I was so sad for this book. I loved it from the moment it started, and I was so emotionally invested the entire time. This honestly might be one of my favorite romance books I've read all year, and I finished it in just over 4 hours. My original plan was to read romance books all day, but I loved this one so much, and I just couldn't let go of the characters, so I needed to switch up the genre a little bit, and I decided to pick up Lost Souls Meet Under a Full Moon as my second read of the day. This is a magical realism novel translated from Japanese about a young man called a go-between who arranges meetings between the living and the dead. The story is told through interconnecting vignettes, and although it deals with some pretty heavy topics, it felt like a really gentle read. At this point, it was the height of the afternoon, and Max decided to come read with me. They're currently reading an arc that I got in the mail, Upward Bound, which comes out in March, and they're absolutely loving it. We spent a few wonderful hours reading as a family, and I finally finished this book at around the 7.5-hour mark in my readathon. And did I love this book? Am I obsessed with it? No, but did I enjoy reading it? Absolutely. It was really thought-provoking and emotional, and I think there's another book coming out in this series, so I'll definitely be reading that too. For my final book of the readathon, I decided to just pick whatever I was in the mood for, and that was The Princess Knight by BookTok's very own Kate Jacobs. I had just gotten my finished copy of this book in the mail, and I didn't think I could wait any longer to read it. I knew that I was going to love this book because it's a medieval fantasy Legally Blonde retelling, and I was right. I was having a blast with this one, but unfortunately it started getting late and I was getting so tired. I desperately wanted to hit the 12-hour mark, but my reading really slowed down towards the end. I ended up reading about 60% of this book between the two different formats, which I'm pretty proud of. I ended up finishing this readathon at about 1 a.m., which is very far past my bedtime, but I was having a blast. Here are the totals of everything I read today, and thanks for joining me for the readathon.